So, what's the difference between a good man and a godly one?
All right, so look, first I got to start off with this. So we got Proverbs 3:6. It says, and in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path, right? So when I answer this, I'm talking about in the sense of like a relationship, right? So a good man, in the sense of a relationship versus a godly man, right? So look, a good man will lead his household with all his understanding. Meanwhile, a godly man, he's going to seek God before he makes any decision, right? Because he realizes that by his wisdom, if he leads you by his wisdom, then it's always going to be flawed. So he has to go to the source of infinite wisdom to guarantee that he can effectively lead his household. So what's the difference between a good woman and a godly woman?
To put it, I think it's pretty straightforward. However, I think a good woman can be more deceptive to the naked eye. So by that I mean, for a good woman from the outside, it looks pretty good. She cooks, she maybe cleans, she maybe doesn't have much drama, she might be confident. But from the spiritual aspect, when you look on the inside, she might be broken. She may have a superiority complex. She might think that she has it all together, maybe doesn't need help from a man, but chooses to have one because she'd rather not be lonely. And then ultimately she'll just abide by society's norm. So whatever she feels like is normal for a woman to venture out and do, she'll do it.
A good man will identify areas of insecurities so that his wife can fix it, right? So just to recap, a good man would be like, hey, you insecure in these X, Y, and Z areas, so you got to do something about that. And in his head, he will look at it as, hey, I'm just letting her know so that she can fix it. Meanwhile, a godly man will identify areas of insecurities within his wife, and he'll create an atmosphere for healing and for confidence. So what I mean by that is the Spirit of God would lead him and would show him, and he'll have the spirit of discernment so he can see if she's acting a certain kind of way. He can see deeper than that emotion, and he can see the root issue is an insecurity, and he can create an atmosphere to where that insecurity can be filled with joy, with confidence in that area to actually heal that. And it's not him doing it, it's the Holy Spirit working through him being a willing vessel to let the Holy Spirit work through him to create healing where hurt was.
Now, on the other hand, with a godly woman, this is the part that blows my mind, because this is the type of woman where just as much as outwardly she's beautiful on the inside. So she's somebody that reminds you of somebody like Esther. So she makes hard decisions, but it's for the help of the man, to build him, to uplift him. Or Deborah, she was a judge, she was a warrior, she was never a yes woman. She would give you the things that need to be said that somebody else might be scared to say. And then ultimately she caters to the things of the heart. So for a man, she'll be a helpmeet. For the man, she'll be selfless. For the man, she'll be a hard worker. She'll be consistent. She doesn't look for gratification for the man, but rather does it just because she wants to make that person happy or wants to see the best out of that person.
A good man will make decisions for the direction of his household without keeping his wife in the loop. So his mindset would be, hey, well, I got this, I got this. And he would feel offended if his wife asked him a question. Almost like overly masculine, like, oh, I got this, you ain't got to ask me anything. Meanwhile, he doesn't realize this creates miscommunication and it creates confusion, because how can a woman follow if she don't know what she's following? If you're a good leader is going to explain, and he's going to direct the path. He's going to let you know, keep you in a loop, let you know every single thing that's going to take place. So a godly man will give clear vision and direction of how he will lead his household, so there is no open door for confusion, miscommunication, or distrust.
And the last thing that I see about that kind of woman is she practices wifely attributes, and she's not lazy. She's an investor, and she's all around a person that is just God-fearing and strives to be not only the best for herself, but also the best for that person, because when she's at her best, then she can pull the best out of that person. So there's no faking with that kind of woman.